Welcome to Bowflex for Golf. My name is Eric and I'm working out on a flat bench style Bowflex. This routine here is designed specifically for golfers and it's gonna be one of three, but these routines are not designed exclusively for golfers. So this routine has a lot of power type of movements. They're gonna focus on this rotation that you have in a swing, but we're also gonna have a lot of endurance type of exercises in here. So we've got 27 sets in total, and each set is either gonna consist of 8 repetitions that are going to be about 4 seconds per rep, or we're going to be working out to a clock. Now, hopefully all this is really easy to follow. This clock behind me here will be counting it down, even our reps, and there'll be little previews of the lifts before we get into each. So we're going to be doing lots of these rotational movements, focusing on our core and our upper back. And while we're doing all of those, let me tell you our how each rep is going to go. So basically, we're going to want to have an explosive contraction. So we want to move the weight in over the course of about half a second to 1 second. So quick move, and then we're gonna hold the weight in this fully extended isometric hold for about half a second, maybe a second, and then we're gonna slowly retract. And between each rep, we're gonna hear this little beep, right? And that's when I want you to explode again, if you're ready, and then keep going with me. So for our resistance settings, we are going to be doing the same lift 3 or 4 times in a row, so you can kind of adjust the resistance setting as we go. I'm going to announce my resistance setting and show some different resistance settings I recommend at the beginning of this routine. And also, everything's going to be done with the normal Bowflex handles except for the first lift, and you can use them for that first lift. I'm going to be using a tricep rope because our first lift will be a goblet squat. Now, all of these different exercises I'm going to be demoing in this 4-minute warm-up that's coming right up. And after that warm-up, we're going to be racking up our resistance. So if you're going to be joining me and if you want to see more content like this, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and we will see you back for the warm-up in just a moment. All right, let's get it going with a little jogging in place. Alternatively, you could do some high knees, bring those knees nice and high, and stretch out those legs as we go. Now, as we're warming up here, we got a minute of this. I'm going to tell you about our 8 different exercises that we'll be doing here today. The first is going to be a goblet squat. And again, I'll be using a tricep rope for that. From there, we're going to move into a chest press with a hammer grip. And then we're going to do some pendulums. I'm going to call them putters for this routine though, kind of keep it on theme. And then we're going to move into a bicep curl. From there, we're going to go into a standing cross row. And we're going to hit the torso twist. Really good golf movement. And then we're going to get to a couple leg exercises where I'm going to be doing a glute kickback. But I know that move's not for everybody, so I'll show you a few alternates. And then finally, we're going to move into a leg extension. So let's wind down our little jog in place, and we're going to do some full head rotations. I just want you to loosen up your neck. I'm doing some full spins here in one direction. And now I'm going to change directions. Do this for just a little bit here. Okay, from here, we're going to extend our arms out wide and we're going to spin back and forth. We want this nice rotational movement opened up for us. So just kind of gets a nice spin, a nice torso twist in here. Okay, so let's wind this down and we're going to move into a bent arm circle here. Just loosen up our chest and our back with this motion here. Really try to stretch it all out and feel good loosening up there in your shoulders too. Do a few more of these. And then let's move into some bodyweight squats. So for bodyweight squat, arms out in front of you, and then you're just going to drop down nice and low and raise up. And you don't have to go as low as me, that's okay. I want you to stay in control as you do this. And go as low as you can comfortably go. One thing to keep an eye on with squats though, is you don't want to be leaning forward a ton. That's going to put a lot of tension on other joints. It's just nice, straight up and down. And then we're going to move into a quad stretch here. So I'm gonna put one arm on my Bowflex and I'm just kind of stretching out my quads here. Get a good nice stretch in here. And then we're gonna change sides in just a moment. Okay, let's switch up sides. We're gonna hold this for about 10 more seconds. Okay, so now we're gonna move into just some finger pulls, loosening up our hands and our forearms here. We're gonna do this for 10 seconds on each side. And then when the clock hits 20 seconds, that time's yours for whatever stretch you want. I'm gonna do a forward fold. You can do a nice little lunge though on each side. And so let's go into that now. I'm gonna do my forward fold here. Reach down towards my toes and I'm gonna just hold it until this timer ticks out. Okay, so let's get racking up our resistance. I'm gonna put my bench down and for my weight setting, I'm gonna go with 130 pounds of power rods on both sides. That is gonna be a very heavy setting for this routine. Really 100 pounds, basically all the default power rods on each side would be a good heavyweight setting. You can go with 50 or 30 pounds, kind of really anywhere in that range. So as low as 50 pounds, as much as 100. You know, I want you to find weight settings that work for you, and you're gonna be able to adjust the weight setting with every single exercise if you need it. So let me get all racked up. I'm running out of time here. Okay, our first lift is gonna be a goblet squat. And for this, what we're gonna do is grab the weight in front of us and then we're gonna slowly lower down, kind of like a body weight squat, except you're gonna have your legs kind of opened up and spread out a little bit. And that's gonna work on our hip mobility as well here. So if you have a normal, if you just have the Bowflex handle, you can grab the outside of both of these. And then you're gonna do a squat down like this and then raise up. But if you have the tricep rope, which I do, I'm gonna be using that. It's a little bit more satisfying of a lift. Now, as we do this lift, I want you dropping down really slowly and then exploding upwards. So we're gonna be dropping slow, raising up. And so I want you in position here. And then we're gonna start dropping here right now. And then when you hear the beep, explode up. Explode. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we're gonna be doing that 4 times in a row. Adjust the weight setting as needed for this. So as we go through this too, I think you might see me put my hands out a little bit further in front of me than I normally would. My machine is exceptionally squeaky today. I don't know what's up with that, but that seems to kind of dull the squeakiness. So keep that weight a little bit closer in towards your shoulders. So let's go ahead and get in position here. Let's slowly lower and explode up. 2, 3, 4, 5. Explode up when you hear that beep. 6, 7. Last one. And up. Okay. 2 more of these to go. And then we're going to move into a chest press. So again, with these, try not to lean forward too much. Kind of tough with how this machine is configured. Try to go straight down if possible. Let's get in position. Slowly drop. Explode up. There we go. Where's 1? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. We got one more set, and that's gonna be our last leg lift for quite a while. We won't be hitting our legs again until the last 2 exercises of this routine, the back 9 of it, the last 9 exercises. So one more of these to power through. Okay, less than 5 seconds. Let's get in position. Final set of these. Here we go, lower it down nice and slow. Explode up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, last one. That's 8. Okay, so I'm going to switch back to my normal Bowflex handles, and we're going to move into a chest press. I'm going to leave the weight the same. You might need to drop the weight a little bit, depends on what you had before and how strong your chest is. So I'm going to be doing this a little different than a normal chest press. I'm going to be sitting up nice and tall here. I'm also going to be using a hammer grip. So I'm going to be pressing this weight out, exploding forward, and then slowly retracting it. So here we go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, if you're watching me close there, you saw me slide off of the seat and back on against the tower. With the weight setting I have on here, I really need to straddle this bench with my legs. I might drop the weight, we'll see how it goes. We got a total of 3 sets of these, so 2 more. I'm gonna try to keep it the same. Let's go ahead and get in position, hammer grip again. We're gonna explode. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale as you press out. 6. Okay, one more set. I'm gonna try to count the reps in that last set. This weight setting is really tough for me, hard to count it out as I go. Okay, let's get in position, get ready to go. 5 seconds, get the handles up. All right, let's explode. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Next exercise we have is what's called a pendulum, or we could call it a putter here, where I'm going to be kneeling on my bench here. And if you're uncomfortable kneeling on the bench, you can have 1 foot on the bench, 1 foot on the ground. what I'm then gonna do is twist this handle here, and it's almost like I'm in a putting position here like this. And I'm gonna grab this handle and pull it across my body. I'm gonna explode here. There's one, and then I slowly retract this. 2, 3, 4, you should have a lot of core engagement. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, short rest interval here because we're only working at half the body at a time. So we're just gonna spin around to the other side and do another set of these. So after our putters here, and all 4 sets of them, we're gonna have a little bit longer of a break. But let's swing. There's 1, 2, 3. Try to hold it in that fully extended position. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Should be really feeling it in kind of the lower abs as you do these. You got 2 more sets. And then we have, it's a 45-second, maybe a minute-long break. And then we're gonna get into a bicep curl. But let's finish this out. Get in position here. And now let's twist. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These slow contractions. 7 and 8. Where you slowly release it, that really fires up those abs. Spinning around to the other side here. Okay, counting this down, and then we go into a break after this. Here we go. Swing, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Okay, I think my counting got a little off there, but we got this a little bit longer rest interval, and we're going into bicep curls. I'm actually gonna drop my weight setting down to 100 pounds on each side, so I'm dropping by about 25% or so. And then a bicep curl, just exactly what you'd expect, facing the tower. And then you're gonna stand up nice and tall here. This one, you don't wanna be putting your back into this at all. We're just gonna be standing here, doing a nice smooth bicep curl. We're only gonna be doing 2 sets of these, so give it all you got. Here we go. That's 1. Explode upward. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Back to the half on, half off here. Bicep curl up next, and then we got, standing cross row after this. Same weight setting I'm gonna keep for these lifts, but adjust as needed. Okay, let's get in position here. Explode up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control that weight as it lowers. 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So our next set is going to be a standing cross row. You're basically going to just walk up a little bit closer to the machine, and then you're going to cross over these handles in front of you. And then from here, you're then going to just raise these handles up to your shoulders, hold it for a second, then slowly release. Now this move here does not have to be an explosive movement. I'm going to try doing a 1, 1, 2. So 1 up, hold it for a second, and then drop it for 2. So kind of a quick movement, but not explosive here. Raise it up. And that's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Okay, nice. 2 more of those, and we do some torso twist. We got a little time here to recover. Now, I probably mentioned in the intro, this is going to be one of 3 golf routines I'll be releasing on the channel for this machine. So if you're enjoying this, be sure to be checking those out too. Here we go. Let's get up for another. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, one more set of that. Now, I made this into 3 separate routines because as I started researching and figuring out, some routines for this machine and for golf, I was like, man, there is so many different exercises that are good for golf that work well on this machine. So I was like, let's make this into a little mini program. So there should be a PDF download. It might not be available on the first couple of days this video goes live. That's going to have all the different routines in a spot where you can write down your weight setting you used. Here's 1. So hopefully with that download, it can help you know what you did last time. Not necessarily try to increase the weight setting every time, but focus on getting more control of the weight every time you do this routine. And focus on those movement patterns. Okay. So our next lift is gonna be a torso twist. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here on the machine, kind of facing perpendicular to the tower. I don't quite have my outer foot all the way to this foam roller, but I do have my inner foot kind of stabilized up against the foot of the machine. And then I'm gonna grab the handle that's behind me here. And I'm gonna take this handle and then I'm gonna twist it across my body here towards my knee. Now, as I do this, I like looking straight ahead here. Again, this is gonna be an explosive movement. And this is a lot like a golf swing here. Now you don't wanna, if you're training for golf, you wanna keep your eye on the ball. So sometimes you'll see me trace or follow my hands with my eyes, but not in this. I wanna focus on keeping my eyes looking at the ball. So spin around here. Opposite side, short rest interval. And again, explosive movement pattern. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's twist and release. An explosive twist here too. Okay, short rest interval. One more set on each side. And then we're gonna have a little bit longer of a rest interval coming up. I'm gonna tell you about the next few lifts when we get to that. So let's get in position here and explosive twist and slowly release. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There we go. Okay, one more on this side. Now after we do this set, we're gonna kind of hit a turning point where you can keep following along with me. I'm gonna do some glute kickbacks, but that's not a lift for everybody, and we'll talk about it here. Let's finish this out strong. Here we go, twist it, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so we have a minute here, and I'm going to go into a glute kickback where I'm going to keep the same weight setting. Now, this lift is kind of requires a little bit of mobility that you might not have. I'd encourage you to try it out. If you cannot do this lift, you can either do a hip extension where you put your foot through the handle and kind of extend it out wide, or you can do a leg curl. If you have a Bowflex Blaze, leg curls are great on this. So for a PR1000 though, hip or a glute kickback, I'm gonna open up my handle and then I'm gonna put that right over my foot. And now I'm gonna stand here with my hands up against the tower, and then I am gonna be just kicking this weight back. And we're not gonna be working to those explosive intervals. Go at your own pace with this. And as you kick back, I want you to try to raise your foot up so it's above the bench here like this. And for me, I have to look over my other shoulder as I do this. It just helps with the angle. So join me on this if you can. Give it your best shot. We're gonna be doing a total of 6 of these, 3 on each side. So pace yourself, go nice and smooth, and try to get your foot up above the bench as you kick back. And this targets your glutes so directly. And your glutes, kind of your butt muscle, it's really what's used heavily in your swing. Okay, so I'm gonna just switch sides now. And again, if you're struggling with that angle, you can do a leg curl or those hip extensions. So other side here, exact same thing though. And I'm gonna be just doing these these glute kickbacks the whole time here. We're trying to at least. So let's get in position. And go nice and smooth. Kick that weight back here. Now, one thing you need to be careful is having this weight kind of twist your leg and your knee. Make sure you don't have too much weight on the machine here. And also it helps me to focus on having the cable kind of on the outer part of my body, not between my legs here. Okay, switching sides. So when the weight ends up between my legs, what can happen, and you really want to avoid this, is it can kind of want to pull your leg out wide. And if you have some pre-existing knee problems, you can kind of twist your knee, not feel good. I haven't had that issue come up at all, but just something to be, aware of. Okay, here we go. Nice and smooth. Fifteen more seconds. Okay, we're rolling right along. Okay, let's get in position and let's go. Now I think this is the first time I've done this exercise on this machine. This is a lift that's, like I said, there is a little bit of an injury risk to it. I felt, for kind of advanced people that have been doing this, and this is such a good lift for what we're trying to do. So just, beware of the risk. Be careful how you're controlling your leg here. And you know what, as I do this, I can't help but wonder if removing the bench might help actually even prevent that risk further, because I can get on a little closer to the tower. Oh yeah, that's better. So if you're coming back to this routine, remove the bench. And then it's a little less tight here. And that issue of the cable running between your legs doesn't really come up. Okay, one more of these, and then we're going to some leg extensions. Okay, here we go. Extend it back. Try to get full extension on that kickback too. Ten more seconds, you can do this. Okay, so we have a minute break here, and that's so we can get our leg extension hooked up. So I've already loosened up those cables at the footrest, and so all I got to do here now is just hook them right up. Okay, we got to finish out strong here. 3 sets to go. So for these, we're just going to go again, go a nice smooth pace. You don't need to go explosive on these. I like leaning back a bit here, and then we're just going to flare our legs out and slowly retract. Here we go. That's 1, 2, 3. I don't know why I'm counting, because we got 40 seconds of this. And these always seem easy at the beginning of your first set, and they get hard fast. Okay, 2 of these to go, and we get to wrap it up, call it a day. So we're on hole number 17, coming up on number 18 right now. You don't want to just fall off your game because you're tired. Got to stay in this mentally and physically. Extend it out and go. And this is a really great lift too for strengthening up your knees as well. Ten more seconds. Okay, 1 more lift, and we get to call it. I need to kind of shake it out here. Okay, 10 seconds. Everybody, let's get in position. And extend it out. Keep that focus, stay in the game. Exhale as you're kicking up and focus on your breathing when you're really struggling. 10 more seconds. All right, awesome job on finishing this routine out. Let's remove our power rods from tension. You're gonna wanna wrap them up with something so they're pointing up, straight up and down. So great job on finishing today's routine. I wanna give a big shout out to one of my Ko-Fi Elite members in particular that helped make this routine happen, and that's Bill W. Bill has been a big supporter of this channel from day one, and when he saw I mentioned a Bowflex for golf video, he was all over it. And so Bill, this one goes out to you. Thank you for the support, and thank you to all of you for joining me on this routine. I hope to see you back for Bowflex for golf number 2. Until then, be good to yourself and be good to others.